The Honorable Kevin McCarthy of the state of California, having received a majority of the votes cast, is duly elected Speaker of the House of Representatives.
A wild and historic ride in the U.S. House, days of failed votes for House Speaker and intense behind-the-scenes negotiations.
Wisconsin's Republican delegation standing firm the entire time, backing Kevin McCarthy, also part of those public and private negotiations.
Sure, it looks messy, but democracy is messy. Democracy is messy.
Reed Ribble is a former Republican congressman from the Green Bay area. Hey, Reed, welcome back to the show. Good to see you.
Hey, it's great to be with you. Good to be with both of you.
Absolutely. Broadly speaking, give us your thoughts on what we've seen this past week.
Well, I think you have this group of Republicans who have wanted to have some type of reforms in how the House works. And this has gotten personal now. They're not going to vote for Kevin McCarthy no matter what, I don't think. There's a group of 5 or 6 that won't.
And so what does this mean in terms of legislating and moving forward with this 118th Congress?
I think that's a really good question. I think it's a prelude to what's going to happen. They don't have a big enough majority. And if you weaken the Speaker's office to where they can use some of the strength of the office to kind of move people to vote for things, you're going to see some very difficult times ahead with the debt limit, with funding the government. Wouldn't surprise me at all to see a government shutdown or multiple government shutdowns this year as a result of this.
Reed, you lived through the John Boehner, the Paul Ryan transition, McCarthy, of course, in the middle and part of that. Conference infighting is nothing new. Is this different or at a different level?
It's certainly at a different level. I mean, you have to go back, 100 years to have this type of race. Usually by the time the conference itself, all the Republicans get in a room and they vote for their nominee. It's kind of a primary election. Listen, Kevin McCarthy won that with 85% of the vote. At that point, it's kind of a fait accompli, and everybody gets on board to show unity against the opposing party. But in this case, you've got a group that really wanted reforms to happen, and they decided that they were going to lever their power. And you'll see that as they go forward throughout the year.
So have you been in touch with any of the current members? What's your advice, or have you been advising them? What have you been telling them?
Well, I haven't really been advising anybody, and I don't think anybody really cares what my opinion is. I mean, nothing more former than a former member of Congress. But at the end of the day, I think if you look at Mike Gallagher, I thought his speech, the nomination speech that he gave for Kevin McCarthy the other day, was exceptional.
So, Reed, some of the things we don't know are the conditions that McCarthy may be agreeing to get more people on board. Representative Mast the other day criticized former House Speaker Ryan, Boehner, saying, listen, McCarthy is not one of these guys that you're used to as a speaker. I'm curious from your perspective, who is Kevin McCarthy?
Well, Kevin McCarthy is going to be similar to both Ryan and Boehner. And listen, John Boehner had a more open process than Paul Ryan did when I was there. We had a lot of votes on the floor of the House, particularly on appropriations bills, and that's what they're asking for. They want key appointments on the Rules Committee, which determines what amendments get to the floor. I don't think you would have seen Paul or Boehner give that up. That is a closely held committee appointed by the Speaker, because the Speaker needs to usher through legislation and make sure that the key things you have to do in funding the government, taking care of the military, that stuff gets done. And I think it might have been a mistake for Kevin to give up those seats in exchange for the speakership. He might come to regret that.
Former Wisconsin Congressman Reed Ribble joining us. Reed, thank you so much for your time and perspective. Good to see you like always.
Hey, it's good to be with you both. Thank you.
Thanks.
On the other side, Democrats standing firm behind Hakeem Jeffries.
No consideration in crossing over to assist McCarthy this past week. Congresswoman Gwen Moore with us earlier this week.
There is no appetite for voting for McCarthy, not just because he's a member of the opposite party, but because we saw him through, just very slimly veiled efforts to support Trump, to support the insurrection. After recognizing at first that January 6th was an insurrection, we saw him kowtowing to Trump, and we quite frankly don't have much respect for Kevin McCarthy.
What's to come of how the House will operate?
Well, we haven't been in this space for 100 years. It's very unclear how we get back to regular order. But I know this is a Republican problem. This is not a problem for Hakeem Jeffries or the Democrats.
If Kevin McCarthy is elected Speaker, is he the best option in your mind compared to the Republican alternatives?
Well, you want to know something? I accept the fact that I'm not in control of who they choose as a speaker. But I just will note that whoever gets elected is also my speaker. And I would hope that my speaker would have concerns about me as a member. I'm thinking of all of the deals that McCarthy perhaps is being made to cut in order to ascend to the speakership. And a lot of these things are very offensive to other members.
Up next, the impact of Wisconsin's delegation in Washington.